My wife was having an affair with our teen daughter's boyfriend. You always think betrayal has a limit, you know. Like there's a line people just don't cross, no matter how broken or selfish they are. But I learned the hard way that some people not only cross the line, they torch it behind them and laugh while they do. I'm 42 years old, been married to my wife, Angela, who's 39, for nearly 20 years. We have one daughter together, Sophie. She's 17 years of age, who is my entire world. I'm not exaggerating when I say I built my whole life around our little family. Weekends were for movie nights, road trips, game nights. We weren't rich, but I worked hard to make sure they had what they needed. Angela worked part-time at a salon while I worked full-time in IT. We had a rhythm, or at least I thought we did. Sophie started dating a boy from her school for about a year ago, Liam, 18 years of age. He was polite, respectful, came from a good family. I didn't love the idea of my daughter dating, what dad ever does, but I trusted her judgment. They seemed happy, and Liam quickly became a fixture in our home. Dinners, study sessions, helping out with chores sometimes. I even started seeing him as a future son-in-law. If only I knew. The first signs were small. Angela started acting weird, dressing up more often, even when she was just hanging around the house, buying new lingerie, saying it made her feel confident, spending more time at home even though her salon shifts hadn't changed. I chalked it up to midlife restlessness. I even encouraged it. You look amazing, I'd say, do something for you. Meanwhile, Liam was around more and more. He'd swing by after school, even when Sophie wasn't home yet. Said he was waiting for her, or had a question about a project. One time, I walked into the kitchen and found Angela and Liam sitting way too close on the couch. They jumped apart like teenagers getting caught. I made a joke out of it. I didn't want to believe anything was wrong. Then came the moment that shattered everything. I came home from work early on a Friday. Angela didn't know. My boss had sent everyone home after a system upgrade went smoother than expected. Sophie was out with friends. I walked through the door, expecting to find Angela maybe doing her nails or watching TV. Instead, I heard noises, moaning. I froze. For a second, I thought I was going to pass out. I crept down the hall toward our bedroom, praying, literally praying. It was the TV or some terrible misunderstanding. But it wasn't. I opened the door and found my wife, having sex with my daughter's boyfriend, in our bed, the same bed where we'd slept every night for 2 decades. I can't describe the feeling. It was like someone reached into my chest and ripped out everything. My vision blurred, my hearing went numb. All I remember is Angela screaming and scrambling for the sheets. Liam ran out half naked, grabbing his clothes like a frat boy caught in the wrong dorm. I didn't speak, I just stood there. Angela kept yelling, "I can't explain," but I didn't want an explanation. There was nothing she could say that would justify that betrayal. I left. I got in my car and drove until I couldn't feel my hands on the wheel. I stayed in a motel that night, crying harder than I've cried since I was a child. Sophie didn't know, not yet, and telling her was the single worst moment of my life. When I finally did, after days of barely holding myself together, she screamed. She sobbed. She kept saying, "Please tell me you're lying. Please, Dad." But I wasn't. Her boyfriend and her mother. She threw up. I held her hair back while she trembled. It was the most broken I've ever seen her. She cut them both out instantly, blocked Liam, stopped speaking to Angela, moved in with me at the small apartment I rented once I filed for divorce. It's tight, not fancy, but it's ours. Angela tried to justify it. It just happened. He made me feel wanted. It was a mistake. No, a mistake is forgetting an anniversary, leaving the stove on, sleeping with your teenage daughter's boyfriend. That's character destruction. The fallout has been devastating. Sophie barely speaks in full sentences anymore. I'm in therapy. She's in therapy. I've lost 20 pounds in 2 months. My hands shake sometimes when I think about them together. The visual won't leave my mind. Angela's living with her sister now. From what I've heard, she's trying to move on, She reached out to Sophie twice. Both messages were ignored. She said in one voicemail, "You'll understand one day." No, she won't. She'll never understand why her mother chose lust over loyalty, why she destroyed a family for a boy who was only around because of her own daughter. The worst part, I still wake up sometimes thinking it was a dream, that maybe there's been a mistake, that Angela would never do this, that Liam was like a son to me. But then reality crashes in again. I don't know where we go from here. I've applied for a transfer to another state, just to get away from the town, the school, the whispers. Sophie's thinking of finishing high school online. Her innocence is gone, not because of something she did, but because two people who were supposed to protect her decided their own selfish desires were more important. So yeah, that's my truth. My wife had an affair with our teen daughter's boyfriend, and I don't know if I'll ever be the same again. Thank you for watching or reading. If this story struck a nerve, or if you've ever faced the unimaginable, consider subscribing for more real-life betrayals and emotional confessions. We share the stories that most people are too afraid to speak out loud, because healing starts with honesty. Like, comment, and subscribe for more of the internet's rawest, most intense stories. Your support helps others know they're not alone in their pain. More coming soon, and yes, they get even crazier.